In this video, I'll share with you how it's like to be a product manager, what I'm actually doing every day, the challenges and the responsibilities I'm actually facing, as well as listing the key skills that I think that you should have as well. I will also include my own story, how I broke into product management. So, let's start. If you're new to the channel, my name is Eyal. I've been a product manager for over a decade now. I've been working as an employee, I've been working as a consultant, and I've been working as a founder of my own startup. My only goal is to help us become better at product management. So let's start by discussing the role of a product manager. It's this mysterious role that nobody really knows what you're up to or what you're doing, yet it's in the heart of any tech company out there. So it's probably important, right? I think that the best analogy for a product manager would be a captain of a ship. You need to lead your crew toward the treasure, right? You need to avoid the troubling water and all the open questions around them. And you need to navigate directly and smoothly toward the goal. This is exactly what a product manager would need to do. To navigate the product or the company toward a good business result. That's great. But what a product manager is actually doing? So it all starts from actually understanding your market and your industry and what your market needs. And then you can start delivering solutions to those problems. So you can, from that point on, you can start creating your product vision and roadmap. That means that you will understand what's your vision, and then you can start prioritizing it and create tasks, deliverables that basically will deliver this vision one step at a time. Then you would need to go from concept, you have this idea, into the actual specifications of a product. You would need to actually understand what you're trying to solve there, what's included in the scope, how you're going to do it, and then basically jump into the wireframes, the design, the tech review, right? Because you need feedback on your work, because maybe it's not possible from a technical point of view. And then you would need to actually create the tasks for the developers and work on that as a project manager up until it's ready for delivery. And then you would need to see the result, have your own rejects in order to refine it, and then you would need to launch it. And afterwards, once it's launched and people are actually seeing it, you would need to actually monitor the performance and start improving it, iterating. So what are the needed skills from a product manager? The most important skill, to my opinion, is communication. You are going to communicate with lots of people. You are going to communicate, just for example, with your different team members. You're going to communicate with users. You're going to communicate with different stakeholders, the management, your wife, plenty of people. I do think that it's super important that you will communicate well enough in a way that it would be easy to understand you, and you would be able to 100% understand the other side, because every mistake or any mistake in this communication could lead into what I call money down the drain, where you basically deliver and working on the wrong product, and then when you deliver it, nobody can use it, right? So you need to throw it away. So that's what we're trying to avoid. More things that are super important are, as well as decision making. That's a key, because you would need to decide quite a lot during the day, and you need to be sharp, and you need to make sure that your decisions are right, because again, any wrong decision could lead into money down the drain, and we don't want that. Besides that, I would also say that being strategic, it's super important, because you need to plan for the product that you want, while you also need to be tactical, because you need to also plan from where you're starting and how you're going to break those steps in order to get to where you want. I think that leadership is important. If we talked about communication, that it's also important to be leading in that conversation, because again, you are working with people, most of them, those people that you are not their manager and you're not their boss yet, they need to help you deliver, and you need to lead them. So that's quite tricky. So that's a key skill to basically, again, the analogy of the captain of a ship, that's exactly where this lies. You would also need to negotiate. For example, you found the best solution, yet the effort that is needed by dev is super high. And they come and tell you, well, it's going to take 6 months. And you're you don't have 6 months, right? So you would need to start finding the scope that would actually be efficient enough to make your claim, to prove it, and also that it would take less time and will be able for you to actually deliver. If we're talking about negotiation, I would say also that technical experience is quite handy in that case. Like I was a web developer before being a product, and this usually helps me to understand the other side and to either offer solutions that are relevant for dev to consider, or to maybe understand their solution quicker and find the best solution that would fit my needs. I thought about more stuff, so let me just point them. Analytical skills are super important. You will be touching numbers most of your day. You would need to find problems or solutions, and usually it lays in the data. It's different if you've got someone who handles it for you in the team, but usually you would work with lots of spreadsheets or SQL or whatever, and you need to find what you're looking for. So that's key. Besides that, you would need to be a product manager. There is no way around that. You would need to make sure that your product is being delivered as expected and in the quality that you are looking for. That's key. Of course, we talked about the fact that you need to be adaptive to the cases that life brings and decide upon. So that's important as well. Okay, now let's talk about challenges. So again, I'll start with the top challenges that I'm facing, and of course I'll mention a few more afterwards. So the most important thing that is really hard is to understand the need of your user or your client or your user. You want to understand the specific needs so you can address that, right? Usually it's something that is revealed in conversations with users, by looking at surveys, by looking at data, by looking on your competitors, your customer supports complaints, and then you need to mix all of this data and basically understand what's the problem. And then once you understood the problem, you need to find a solution that would be the most suitable, yet will get the less effort from you and your team. So that's usually the most challenging in my opinion. And it actually leads me to the second one, which is prioritization. This is something that I love doing, but it's a challenge. You need to prioritize everything. You need to prioritize your day-to-day tasks. That's clearly because you don't have time for anything because you're in meetings all day usually, and you do need to work. But besides that, you are going to prioritize the feature. You found the dream solution, and then you need to understand how it's actually going to be delivered because you have limited resources of dev, of other departments, or other crafts, right? And you would need to basically break your amazing idea into drops that you would deliver first and then afterwards, and it would still bring enough value to your users. I would also include expectations. So everyone in the company has big expectations from you that you will deliver and that you will deliver amazing results, both from quality and business point of view, and you need to deliver. And that's not always easy because in the world of product management, usually you don't always write, and then you need to iterate, and that takes time. So that's not easy as well. So these are my top challenges. Of course, many people are talking about, and I felt that when I was an employee as well, the work-life balance. That's something that I've been a founder of a startup, so I'm familiar with not sleeping a lot. But usually, as a product manager, you are in meetings most of the day, and the rest of the day you are usually working on tactical stuff. And then when you need to work on the more strategic stuff or actually speccing a feature, that stuff is basically something that you need to find time for. So work-life balance, that's a big challenge. I think it's worth that I'll share a few words about my journey and how I broke into product management. When I started my way as a product manager, it wasn't called a product manager. It was called a project manager or something like that. I don't really recall. But my luck was that I was a CTO of my own product, and I could have just decided that I'm going to be a product. So I started my way as a more technical person. I was a web developer, and when I was working on my product, I learned quite a lot during that work. Then I started working on Fiverr, and where there I learned quite a lot of many aspects of product management. And they actually gave me this opportunity to start working as a product manager, mostly because I had this project on my startup that I could demonstrate, right? I could demonstrate my work. That really helped me. I think that that's the key for many people to, even if you're not in the tech world, find some kind of a side project that you can deliver, that you understand the people that needs it, the users, you can understand the pain, and you come up with the solution that actually solves this problem. And if you can show that, that should work tremendously good. And I'm telling you that from someone who's actually interviewing people and trying to find, product managers to basically see what you're capable of, as opposed to other people who cannot show this. Like this is like amazing. This is what you do. And I actually have a video about side projects you should definitely check out. It's over here. I recommend you to click it. Okay, now that we understood what is a product manager, what is actually doing, I'd like to actually explain that there are different types of product managers or different expertise. So it's really relevant because you are the captain of your ship. It's really relevant on which company you are working for. So if, for example, I would work for a cybersecurity company it's a SaaS company, right? And it addresses its clients is basically enterprises and different companies. And so my world and know-hows and industry insights and basically all of my experience will be tied to this specific vertical, right, of cybersecurity, as opposed to someone else that would work on a B2C company, let's say, like that basically facing consumers only, and it's a sportsing app, I'm just like making it up, and people are working out while using this app. So the world and all of the things that I discovered and learned about this world and this industry are going to be super different than cybersecurity, for example. So that's going to be hard for me to basically work on that field, because I do going to have lots of onboarding time, right? So what I suggest for junior PMs is to focus on what they like and create side projects around this topic, so they could later on jump into the relevant company and say, wow, we do have some background in this, That's way better than coming with nothing. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I recommend you watching my latest videos just about here.